Hello to everyone and respected sir. Incident telling method has been going on and now it's my turn to grab this wonderful opportunity. So before launching into it, I would like to give a brief introduction of myself. I am Charu Mishram, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Mishram. I was born and raised in Indore. I am computer science graduate and my alma mater is Government Holkar Science College Indore. I have been a part of this institute for some years now. English home has always been a crucial and vital part of my life and career, and countless of our students have scaled new heights in their career under the kind guidance of respected sir, and I find myself fortunate enough to be associated with this institute. Now without making any further ado, I would like to come over to the incident. So one fine day our family received an invitation which stated that we were cordially invited to be a part of a wedding ceremony which was going to be held in a small village of Maharashtra. It was my father's cousin marriage which was going to be held in the forthcoming month. So at first my father was reluctant to be a part of it as it was in another state, but after long persuasion from his maternal aunt, he decided for us to be a part of it. Then all the adequate arrangements were made, and soon the day did come when we had to board the train and make the journey. So my father had already made reservation for all our family members, and we made an overnight journey. The next day in the afternoon we made it to the village, and when we set foot on the platform, we found that my paternal uncle, who was also groom's younger brother, was already there to receive us. So we greeted him and then he took us to his house. So when we reached the house, I saw that the house was well maintained, and the front of the house was decorated with strings of fairy lights, and on the main entrance wreath of flowers and festoons were hung, and indeed it looked like a wedding house. Then we were taken inside where all our relatives were gathered. We greeted them and some introductions were made. After that we went to wash up, and it was already time for lunch, so we decided to join everyone in the courtyard where lunch was being served. We had lunch with our relatives. Then we were asked to take some much needed rest as we had to get rid of the tiredness the journey caused. So we rested for a while, and then the same day at night, as it was summer, so we to sleep on the terrace. For that, mattresses were arranged on it, and when I went to lie down on the mattress and looked upwards, I was mesmerized to see countless stars twinkling in the sky. They looked as if someone had tossed diamonds in the sky, and the experience was like no other, because these kinds of views are becoming rarer as the world is turning urban. I was mesmerized to see the beauty of nature, and the experience was heartwarming for me. I just spent minutes lying and stargazing. And the next day, haldi ceremony was held, in which all the married females applied haldi paste on groom and performed some rituals. After the rituals were performed, the haldi celebration turned into a holy celebration as everyone started playing holy with haldi. All our faces were yellow. Someone had even put haldi on in my hair, and we had made a mess of the place. Later on we had to clean up after ourselves. And the same day at night, when the dinner was served and everyone had eaten food, the females decided to paint their hands with mehendi, and groom's hands were also being painted by his sister. And the house was full of chitter chatter as the next day was the most awaited day, and some preparations were yet to be done. So when all of us had our hands painted, we decided to call it a day, and went to grab some much needed shut eye. Then the next day we all woke up at the crack of dawn as marriage ceremony was in the afternoon. The venue was bride's house itself, and the marriage procession set out from the house around in the early afternoon, and all the partakers were dressed up in ethnic attire or were looking very well, and then all were having the time of their life, as all were dancing on the drum beat and on different songs. So in no time we reached the venue where bride's mother and all her family members were gathered to receive us. Bride's mother came forward and put a mark on groom's forehead and performed aarti. Then we were welcomed warmly inside and the marriage festivities began. The bride and grooms were being congratulated by the invitees on their impending nuptials. The bride was clad in a red sari and was looking gorgeous. And when the auspicious time arrived, fairas took place and priest declared the pair man and wife. In this way they got married, and at last the bride's and groom's family had dinner together. The food was delicious, everyone gorged on it, and at last the bride had to bid farewell to her family members for good and joined her in-laws house, where she was welcomed with some other traditions. And the same day we had to board our train to come back to Indore. So in this way I would like to conclude the incident. Thank you very much to listen to me.